Hello, and thank you for checking out this Unity package. I present the Game Audio Scripting Essentials, an asset store package of a handful of scripts that greatly expand the capabilities of the Unity audio system, allowing for randomized sounds from a list, dynamic and shifting ambiances, even adaptive music to a great deal of complexity. Without any more delay, let's dive right into the features of each of the scripts. Starting off, these are the building blocks of the tool, being what's described on the tin, a scriptable object acting as a container for multiple audio clips that can be used to then play one at random, offering much more variability in the soundscape of your game. Fmod has multi-instrument containers, Wwise has switch containers, and now Unity has these. It's as simple as creating a new arc asset, right here, and then dragging and dropping as many audio clips as you want into the array here. Then set up the mix bus output and everything else you would do normally with an audio source component. There are a few additional features I've included as well, like the ability to not repeat the same sound twice in a row, and a toggle for randomizing the pitch with a minimum and maximum pitch value as well, and all of the most important parts of a sound settings. Once you have your containers, you'll need somewhere to put them, and that's where the audio clip randomizer comes in. This is a component that you add to an object in the scene, whether it's an empty or the player character, and from there you can just plug in the arc object that you created, or drop in the audio clips right here, bypassing the need for a randomizer container, but still offering you the full functionality of one. Along with all the previous settings down here, this script also allows you to override the settings of the arc object if you choose to do so. In keeping with everything being as user-friendly as I could make it, it's extremely easy to play a clip from this. In script, just call the play SFX function on a audio clip randomizer object, or even simpler, use a Unity event to then call the play SFX function. Both of these methods are shown off in the example scene, and scripts provided. Along with the play function, you can also stop and destroy the sound effect through these public functions as well. As a quick summary of how this script in particular works, it takes all of the settings provided down here, or provided by the arc object, and it adds an audio source, like so, to the object that the script is on, applies all of the settings, and plays one of the clips randomly until its end, upon which the audio source is destroyed. If the clip is looped, it will continue to loop until stopped or destroyed as well. So as you can see, it appears and it disappears, freeing up all the memory that you just took up. Now about that adaptive music. Here we have the adaptive music container script, which is easily the most complex yet versatile part of this package. Once again, you add this component to an object, typically an empty object, and from there you can simply create like you never could before, all in the inspector. With adaptive music, the two primary forms it takes are vertical layering, which covers adding and subtracting layers of the piece, and horizontal resequencing, which is when the music changes to a different section. And I'm very happy to say that both of these methods are available through this script, and available in tandem. Since the word of the day is settings, let's go over those quickly before getting into how it's used. Right away you'll notice the two different play modes, automatic and manual, which play when the object is active, and when the function is triggered by another script or another Unity event, like you can see here. Right below that we've got the tempo of the track in beats per minute, as well as the time signature, which is important for when you want to quantize your transitions to the beat of the track. Now for how it works and how to use it, I would recommend starting off by dragging the Adaptive Music System prefab object into your scene hierarchy, like so. But you could also just go under Add Component, Game Object, Scripting Essentials, and click the script there to add it. From there, set your play type to either automatic or manual. I'm just going to leave it at automatic. And now go down to the Sections drop-down and just click a plus to add a section to the music. Now under Audio Layers, once again, add a layer. And as you can see, you have the option to put in an arc object, as well as audio clips once again. To avoid any confusion, think of each section as a bar or a phrase, and each layer as an instrument or a set of instruments within that phrase. Under the audio itself, you're able to set the default volume of the track, which I'm just going to leave at 1 here. Closing up the audio layers, moving right on to the section transitions, and adding one here. As you can see, there's a lot of settings, as per usual. And just walking through the fields one by one. Transition into, that is the section, the index of the section that you wish to transition into. So transitioning into 0, that would be element 0. If you want to transition to section 2, that would be index 1, so transition into 1. Next, we've got the trigger type. That's either on end or on trigger. On end is self-explanatory. It transitions when the audio clip ends, but only when it's not looping. And on trigger transitions when the trigger is, well, triggered. Usually by either a Unity event or triggered in the script. Next up, we got the fade type. Either no fade happens, so it immediately cuts to the next track, stopping the current section and then playing the next one. Or you can have crossfade, which the time of which it transitions can be set here all the way up to 10 seconds. Last but not least, we have the quantization settings, which can be set to immediate, meaning there's no quantization. It can play on the next beat, which means it transitions on the next beat, on the next second beat, or on the next bar entirely. And yes, all of this works with crossfades, and all of this works with the different triggers. And to cap off the section of sections, we can set the initial one as well right down here. And like the transition into a field, it just takes the index of the section that you want. Now, moving on to states, just closing up the sections. States down here, let's just add one. States are essentially different mixes of the various layers that can carry over between transitions. So let's say you have a calm ambient state, but things start to pick up and you want to add some percussion on layer 2. You can simply set the volumes of each respective layer, set whether or not you want it to be abrupt or not, and once again, you can make the change gradual. And as soon as you get that, boom, you have percussion added, and it's added gradually. The best part is, like I said, these carry over between sections, offering a lot of variability in what you can do. And don't think this is just limited to music either, because in the example scene I provide, I use this exact script for ambience as well. And it can also be used for different sound effects, voiceover, anything that you can put your mind to. And now, just real quick, let's do a little demonstration of it. So let's just start up the scene. And let's drop down the music. And here we have each of the sections with each of the layers. And as you can see, when you start up the script, it just adds these as objects with audio clip randomizers, and it's already routed up and everything. And these objects are destroyed upon transitions into a new section. So, the music is set to this mixer, but as you can see, there's no ambience yet, so let's turn that on by going over here. There we go. So, ambience turned on, we can hear some waves, and let's add a bit of rain to that by going into state 2. Okay, and now let's say we don't really want that anymore. Let's go back to state 1. And there we go. But the music is getting a little repetitive. Let's add some percussion to it to add a bit more excitement. There we go. And now let's switch over the ambience to something else. Let's switch it over to just different ambient tracks, still rain and waves. And you're probably thinking, I can't quite hear that, so let's just mute all the music. And there it is. Let's add in the second layer. There we go. And let's add back in the music gradually. this section's getting a little repetitive, we've heard a lot of it. So let's just go over to section 2 without a fade and immediately transitioning. So apologies for how jarring this is going to sound. As you can see, the state is still carried over. And let's just drop off the synth. And just showing you right here, the volume does drop off. And here, let's show you in real time. Just moving back to state 1 abruptly. It'll just drop it to 0. And let's go up to state 3. And that's exactly how it works. So let's transition one more time into section 3. So as you can see over here, it creates 3 new objects and deletes the previous ones. Once again, thank you for being interested in my work here. It's something that I intend on using in the future myself, so expect it to see it potentially evolve over time and grow its features even further. This is available completely for free on the Unity Asset Store, and includes free for commercial and non-commercial use ambience, footsteps, and music samples that you heard in this video. Along with that, stay tuned to my YouTube channel over the coming months, because I plan on releasing content showing off the various capabilities of this package in depth with tutorials. If you have any questions about the tool, have interest in future asset packs or music, or just want to reach out and say hi, feel free to do so on my Twitter or through my website. Have a great day and go make some noise.